Good morning, doctors. Can you all hear me good?
Morning here.
Yeah, good morning, Dr. Kwon.
Good morning, Dr. Brian.
Good morning. Okay, thank you so much all of you for joining this session. Today, I'm going to talk about some refreshment for your Invisalign practice so you can grow your practice further in the future. Yeah. During the session, if you have any question that you might encounter in the past or anything that you want to raise and ask me your personal experience, please feel free to just raise your hand or open your mic to and shout out. Okay. And before we begin, I would like to show you a short video about who we are as a company and what is our purpose for our patients.
A great smile can transform a person's life. At Align, we create technology that helps people have the confidence to take on whatever's next. Invisalign has really revolutionized the orthodontic industry because they have a completely digital way of doing orthodontics. It's convenient, non-invasive. It allows you to live the life that you want to live, and it's a much faster treatment than what wires and brackets offers.
We leverage the power of technology to create great smiles and a brighter future for millions. By integrating digital imaging, 3D software, and shape engineering, together with world-class mass customization and the world's largest 3D printing operation, Align transforms less than an ounce of high-tech polymer into a 21st century engineering marvel. Whether it's clear aligners, digital scanning, virtual treatment plans, or software apps that help patients visualize their new smile, our technology and processes deliver a better-than-braces patient experience and effective treatment outcomes. It all begins with a 1-minute scan. The iTero intraoral scanner replaces goopy physical impressions with a precise 3D digital scan. Using Align's proprietary software, our dental technicians use the scan to create a virtual treatment plan, customized for each patient. Doctors can modify the treatment plan to meet their patient-specific needs, from crowding or gaps to deep bite or overbite, pre-restorative alignment, and most everything in between. A series of unique, shape-engineered aligners are then manufactured using proprietary 3D printing technology. Built on a foundation of over 430 patents, Invisalign aligners use 3 unique, smart technologies. Smart Track aligner material is designed for optimal control of tooth movements and on average enables faster treatment than braces. Smart Force attachments and features designed into the aligners deliver the precise forces when needed to achieve more predictable tooth movements. And Smart Stage technology, programming each tooth movement in a certain sequence at the right time to achieve optimal outcomes. After 20 years and more than $1 billion in revenue, Align is the undisputed leader in clear aligner therapy.
We're the only company in the world that has an orthodontic database of 5 million patients, and we use machine learning to mine that data to really understand how we can do orthodontics better, how it can be faster and more convenient for both doctors and patients.
Our goal is to make it easier for millions of people around the world to enjoy a great smile. We're doing this by expanding our business globally and making our product available in more countries, adding new treatment planning and manufacturing facilities to support doctors locally in all of our major regions, developing new products for the most complex orthodontic cases, especially teens, and working with dentists and making it easier for them to offer simple teeth straightening solutions along with high-quality dental procedures and restorative care to all their patients. And we're raising awareness with consumers, especially teens and their parents, to ensure they ask for Invisalign, the orthodontic brand more teens prefer over braces.
I now have teenagers that come to the practice asking for Invisalign because they don't want to use, they don't want to have brackets and archwares anymore.
For us, it's very nice because we don't need to tell the patients, you should use Invisalign. They say, I want to use Invisalign, and that's magnificent.
With over 1 billion people in developed countries, we have the potential to help 300 million consumers gain access to smile-changing technology that can only be done digitally. We're committed to moving the industry forward, constantly innovating, always improving the world's most advanced teeth straightening technology and the way people think about their smile.
What drives employees at Align is the opportunity to give patients a better future with a better smile. That's the foundation of what we do.
Okay, before we proceed any further, I would like to introduce myself a little bit more. My name is Dr. Brian. I'm based in Bangkok as part of a clinical team at Align Technology Thailand. And if you have any problem with your Invisalign practice and how you treat your patient with Invisalign system, you can contact your local PDMs and they will direct you to me for your issues that you might occur in the future. Yeah. Okay, I would like to give you an overview of Invisalign system a little bit more. Who is Align Technology? Align Technology is a global leader in clear aligner treatment. We have more than 11 million patients treated with Invisalign system. More than 1 million of which are Asian patients like yours and yourself. We have more than 170,000 Invisalign trained doctors across the world, and we offer, we manufactured more than 400 aligners daily. We currently have more than almost 1,000 active patents to this day, which means that we are technically the most advanced clear aligner system in the world. And what is Align Digital Platform? Align Digital Platform is a platform that connects you with your consumers and patients to deliver exceptional alternative treatment and seamlessly connection with our side. Either they are dental labs, iTero portal, CAD designer, and also ourselves as a clinical team. And how does Invisalign work? Invisalign consists of 3 core technology, which are smart force features, smart track material, and smart stage technology. What is smart force features? Smart force features is how we move your patient's teeth effectively. The smart force feature, let me rearrange my screen a little bit. Smart force features is the feature that we apply the force direction, magnitude of the orthodontic force, and point of application all together. You can see that if we want to perform, you can see that if we want to perform a root torque for this incisor, what we do on the software, we determine how much force we should apply in each section. The software would see that, okay, we should apply force at a certain magnitude on the cervical level and another magnitude at this incisor level. Because of that, you create a moment that would torque the root palatally by applying the force directly to the center of resistance of the tooth. And because of that, we are able to achieve the desirable treatment outcomes that you plan for your patient to achieve the treatment outcome after the plan finishes. The smart force features and attachments is something to provide the optimal force system to achieve predictable tooth movements for your patients. They are tailor-made for each tooth by width, long axis, and contour. They are also positioned precisely to deliver the forces that you plan to eliminate every interference that might occur during of which you may plan for any other tooth. It determined by crown size to the tooth anatomy to ideal placement. The software can also adjust and resize some of the attachment based on the character of the tooth and the surface of the tooth as well. and they are used individually or in predefined combination of movement that you might plan for your patient. And the smart force system, the smart force features are designed to deliver force-driven system for the tooth, which is different from the displacement-driven system that might have in any other aligner brands. I can give you an example like this. For other brands of clear aligner, if you want to move this tooth buccally, what they typically do, I would say, they will displace this tooth to another position. They just move the aligner to a new position like this. What would occur is that the force will apply directly on the lingual side of the tooth, which result in the tipping movement of this tooth to this position. And then what you might experience in the past that after you prescribe an aligner for your patient for quite some time, what typically occur is that they might have posterior open bite, they might have overhang palatal cuts, and then it will result in undesirable outcomes for your patients. In Invisalign system, on the other hand, what we do if we want to move these tooth buccally, the software would determine how much force that would apply to different points on the tooth. For example, if we want to move this tooth bodily to the buccal side of the of itself, the software determine there should be a force push from the cervical part of the tooth, but however, it will apply another more multi-directional forces into the buccal side as well. There will be a force pushing at the optimized attachment on the buccal of the tooth to create anti-rotation movement. And as a result, the aligner would look something like this. We will distort it a little bit, we stretch it a little bit and rotate it a little bit to create a bodily movement for this tooth specifically. And we apply the same logic to every single tooth in the mouth to deliver such an outcome that you plan for your patient. First, this is one of the smart force feature that we offer for your use in Invisalign system. You can see this one is called optimized multi-plane movement feature. For this one, we put an optimized attachment on the lateral part of the tooth. However, we also have one notch on the palatal side as well. And because of this, we can create multi-direction movement for this tooth. For example, if you want to extrude this tooth all the same time with tipping and rotation, there will be a force pushing from this side, and also there will be another force direction pushing from this side. And then the tooth will move down a little bit with some loop rotation in it. So you can create more complex movement for this tooth to achieve the outcome that you plan. And because of that, we are able, and because we have such a complex and very smart algorithm to determine the treatment plan for you, we can combine different attachment and features into and bind it together to deliver more complex movement for your patient. For example, in this picture, we use 4 different attachments on 4 different teeth to deliver the extrusion for your for the upper incisors. However, we cannot do it alone without acute anchorage control. So we use the intra-arch anchorage to as a reference for such the movements, and then we can achieve the final outcome for this case. You can see that the force the force system will apply directly to these attachments altogether, while using all posterior teeth as an anchorage for the movement. And last year, we introduced a new technology, which is called Invisalign G8 with smartphone aligner activation. I would like to show you a short video about this technology, which help you deliver such a treatment with more predictable outcome.
In your quest to give your patients their dream smiles, you encounter certain challenges. Challenges that Align Technology has worked to address with Invisalign G8, the next generation of the Invisalign aligner. Invisalign G8 further improves on Invisalign's proprietary features that you know and trust, such as Smart Track material, Smart Stage technology, and by enhancing SmartForce features with our newest innovation, SmartForce Aligner Activation. SmartForce Aligner Activation improves clinical predictability for both deep bite correction and posterior arch expansion for resolving crowding and dental crossbite, and reducing the chance of posterior open bite. So, what is SmartForce Aligner Activation? It contours specific aligner surfaces to apply forces to the tooth in the proper direction to produce the desired movement. SmartForce Aligner Activation is automatically built into Invisalign aligners to give you more predictable results and your patients the smile they expect. SmartForce Aligner Activation improves clinical predictability of incisor intrusion in deep bite cases by up to 2 times. The activation is designed individually for anterior teeth to optimize intrusion force levels for every stage of treatment. The new generation of Invisalign aligners with SmartForce Aligner Activation is designed to control the level and distribution of expansion forces on the posterior segment. SmartForce Aligner Activation, along with the new optimized expansion support attachment, automatically applies buccal root torque to the premolars and first molars, reducing unwanted tipping during expansion. Our newest innovation also reduces the likelihood of posterior open bite by controlling buccal crown tipping during expansion. By designing for more predictable anterior intrusion, Invisalign G8 with SmartForce Aligner Activation minimizes premature anterior contacts and reduces the likelihood of posterior open bite. Using data from millions of patients and 20 years of research, Align Technology is constantly working to help you solve your biggest challenges and to make Invisalign aligners even better, so you can keep giving your patients the best.
Okay, then what is Invisalign with smartphone aligner activation? As you saw in the video, the latest technology that we introduced to the market last year is to section the tooth surface into a small grid, and then we decide precisely which point on the tooth surface that we want to push and where we want to release. So we can produce such a desirable movements that you plan for your patient while minimizing the unwanted movement that might occur from the misdirection of the force. We also leverage the point that the aligner fully covers all teeth altogether to create greater control of where the contact areas would be and where the other teeth should stay in the same place. So we can provide such a great control for your patient to achieve such movement. The SmartForce features can also work synergistically to previously introduced SmartForce features for higher control of the force system. Up to today, we have introduced a lot of SmartForce features and optimized attachments. From now, you can order all. You can provide and achieve every single orthodontic movement for your patient. Either they are extrusion, rotation, root control, to correct deep bite with multi-plane movement, to do better anchorage and retention. We also have optimized support attachment, buccal coverage, lingual coverage, pressure areas, precision bite ramp, and also D6, D4 protocol for specifically designed for extraction cases. And these are the summary of the features that we introduce in each teeth, in each tooth. And however, I don't encourage you to remember all of them. The software will determine which features are suitable for every specific tooth, and then it will insert or place and add these features on tooth automatically. However, how the software choose which features should be placed on that tooth, we have something is called hierarchy of placing optimized attachment. However, I also don't encourage you to remember all of this as well. What you need to do is just, if you want to achieve some movements for this tooth, you can, all you need to do is just reach the threshold of the movement and then ask for these features from the technician, and they can replace it for you. You don't have to follow the hierarchy of the features every single time. And if you have any more problems or questions about the attachment features and optimize and the smartphone features, which one you should use, you can just contact your local PDMs and they will direct you to me. And we can have a further discussion of what you should use to achieve such outcome that you plan. In conclusion, smart force features are clinically proven to improve control of tooth movement with Invisalign clear aligners. It can deliver greater than 75% improvement in overall tooth movement predictably. Okay. Apart from that, we also have conventional attachment for you to prescribe for your patient as well. This is the old attachment that we have had for a very long time. But these attachments will not be placed on the tooth automatically. You have to request from the technician, or you can place it by yourself through 3D control. The conventional attachments are different from the optimized attachment because we offer you an option to change its shape, angulation, and also its height. So if you have a specific movement that you want to achieve, and you think that, okay, the optimized attachment might not be able to deliver such the plan that you have, you can replace it with the conventional attachment and move it along to the axis that could deliver the force that you want. The conventional rectangular attachment can also be adjusted for the prominence and the degree of beveling as well. So you can use this attachment to ease the path of insertion for your patients while delivering the force system that you plan for your patient. Some speakers still use conventional attachment to solve their clinical problems as well. You can, for example, for molars, some speakers use conventional vertical rectangular attachment to control the tooth movement and also control the angulation of the tooth simultaneously. And if you have combined the conventional attachment with the optimized root control attachment, you could be able to achieve the treatment outcome for the extraction cases that you treated. Also, they might use vertical rectangular attachment in lower incisor as well. so that if you move these teeth significantly, because the lower incisors are very small and very hard for aligner to grip effectively, these attachments provide more grips for the aligners to be able to control the angulation while these teeth are moving. So you can close these teeth smoothly without tipping these tooth to create more problems in the future. Up until now, I'm not sure if you have any question that you might encounter in the past, or you might have the question that may arise from this presentation. If you have one, please feel free to put in the chat or just open your microphone and ask me directly. Okay, if not, I will continue with the second technology that is the core of Invisalign system, which is Smart Track material. Smart Track material is the multi-layer transparent material that has been engineered over 8 years' time with over 260 material variations, developed, evaluated, and to exert gentle, constant force to enable doctor to better control of tooth movement. You can see from this diagram that if you stretch any other aligner material that are available in the market, the level of return is much less comparing to Smart Track material. If you pull it back to this level, if you come back to just this this line. This is also true for our past material that we used a decade ago, which was EX30. It can go back to about 50% of what it was stretched out. Comparing to Smart Track material, you can see that it almost goes through its original shape if you stretch it out to a certain level. And from this graph, you can see that if your patient wear aligners for a certain of time, this line are 1 day for a line. So if they start with aligners, it typically delivers very high force at the beginning, and then the force drops drastically just several days past. So it's impossible for your patient to receive such a constant and gentle alternative forces. So the force will be just very fluctuated up and down throughout the treatment. For a Smart Track, on the other hand, you can see that the rate of drops is very low. We start with very low force at the very beginning, and then the force drops very few to the certain level. This is also true with the rise of the force after displacement. And you can see that if you use any other brand in the market, the force that the aligner delivers rise significantly when you stretch it out. But for Smart Track material, you can see that the force that it delivers is quite constant throughout the displacement. It also provides better fit for your patient as well, because it has high formability. For standard material, you can see that if we inject the blue ink underneath the aligner and then press it over the tooth, there will be a lot of blue ink on the tooth surface. However, for Smart Track material, you can see only blue ink on the interproximal areas of the tooth. So it provides better fitness for your patient to ensure that what you plan in your software can be delivered to your patient directly. We also provide a better way to trim the aligners. Unlike competitors, our aligners are trimmed at the gingival level for better fit, and better aesthetics, and better comfort. In conclusion, our smart track material can deliver greater than 75% improvement in predictability of overall tooth movement. And the performance of this smart track material is better than any other material that are used in the market by our competitors. Then I want to talk about Smart Stage technology, which is the third core technology for Invisalign system. Smart Stage technology is created to optimize the progression of tooth movements for greater predictability. It also minimizes intra-arch and inter-arch interferences, provide better control of individual and multiple tooth movements, and also provide activation to optimize the force system. Smart Stage technology use the advantage of our system that determine the path of tooth movement before it delivers to your patient by optimizing the path of tooth movement to the shortest length, and then create the shape of aligner of every stage simultaneously. So the Smart Stage technology can help generate the desirable force system that's necessary for more predictable treatment outcomes. Okay, up until now, I'm not sure if you have any question about smart force systems, Smart Stage technology, or smart track material. If you have any question, you please feel free to put it in the chat box, and I'll get back to you after that. Okay, up next, I want to talk about Align digital workflow and all the tools that we have to help you treat your patient more effectively and more efficiently. Before we begin, I would like to show you a short video about this Align digital workflow.
I think there's no audio, no sound.
Oh, really? I think the sound is off. That's fine. I will continue with the presentation. We will get through these tools later. Yeah. Okay. The Align digital workflow is we provide the end-to-end treatment, digital treatment experience for you as a doctor and your patient to be able to achieve your your treatment goals without less dental visit. We start from the journey starts from connect, scan, plan, treat, monitor, and retain. The first one is how you can drive your patient into your practice. We offer a smile wheel in practice, which help your patient visualize how that smile could change if they receive Invisalign treatment. Next, we offer HCP consulting tool, which is like a collective of information about Invisalign system and alternative treatment as a whole. And you can provide this information for your patient when even not every time you meet them in your clinic. They can also visit this website that you can create for yourself and see the information about your practice, which doctor work here, and what are their specialty. We also have My Invisalign app that would help your patients stay on track with Invisalign treatment and also help you in monitoring the treatment progression remotely. We also have Invisalign virtual appointment that allow you to schedule and host video appointments with your prospects or your patients anywhere, anytime. So even though they might live miles away from your practice, they can also have conversation about you of what Invisalign is and how the alternative treatment would help they overcome their problems. Next is the scan. Is how you capture patient data and create diagnosis that might need for your patient. First, we have Invisalign photo uploader that take and maintain your patient record faster and easier, and also in organized way. Next, we have iTero, the intraoral scanner that create accurate impressions quickly and comfortably for your patient and reduce the chair time that's needed for your clinic. In the iTero intraoral scanner, we introduce NIRI, which is the interproximal caries detection system that allow you to examine, visualize, and communicate about interproximal caries that might occur just before or during the treatment. You can utilize it anywhere, anytime that you want. And lastly, we have Invisalign Outcome Simulator that help your patient visualize what would be the final outcome of the Invisalign treatment, and you can adjust it accordingly to the biological needs. Next is how you plan and visualize the plan of your alternative treatment and restorative treatments. First, we have IDS prescription form that you can create patient's profile on the system, and you can transform treatment strategies and treatment goals toward alive CAD designers. And then the CAD designer will create a treatment plan for your review through the ClinCheck planning with 3D controls. With this software, you can not only just review your treatment plan and communicate directly with the CAD designers, you can also change change the treatment outcomes that you might expect for your patients. And you can also use the newly introduced technology in ClinCheck software, which is live update, to bypass the way that you need to communicate with CAD designers, and also to accelerate the process with your patient. And lastly, we have in-face visualization tool, which we superimpose the final outcome from 3D controls into your patient's face, so they can see what is the final outcome that will happen if they undergo with the with the treatment plan that you had. And then it will go to the Invisalign clear aligner treatment that consists of 3 core technology that I mentioned before. Next, we offer Invisalign app and virtual care to help you monitor your patient remotely. You can determine whether your treatment progresses as you plan without even need your patient to visit your clinic. And you can keep in touch with them and also instruct what they should do with their treatment with less dental visit. This is very beneficial for patients who don't live nearby or even go internationally. Next, we have iTero Progress Assessment. This will compare the treatment progress in real life with the plan in your clinic. And so you can see which one you should intervene if there is something that doesn't go as planned. And then we have iTero time lapse that you can compare your scan from time to time. So you see the progression of the treatment that goes and also what is the changes that is occurring in your patient mouth, even though they are not Invisalign patients. And lastly is how to retain the beautiful smile that they achieve after Invisalign plan. We have Vivera retainers that provide your patient the best-in-class retention solution, which manufactured in the same process with Invisalign aligners. Okay, let's take a look at how the expert integrates Align digital workflow into their practice seamlessly. Sorry, I think there's a problem with my computer. Hold on 1 second.
Hi, I'm Dr. David Boschkin. Adopting Align Technologies' digital solutions has made a huge difference to my practice. It has provided ways to improve our efficiency and productivity and create a seamless treatment experience for our patients. Our digital transformation journey started with acquiring an iTero intraoral scanner. Align Technologies' suite of digital tools ultimately led to a full digital transformation. It digitized key steps in the treatment journey, beginning with attracting new patients and 3D scanning, through treatment planning, to monitoring treatment progress and retention follow-up. It is a suite of easy-to-adopt digital solutions that give our patients a seamless treatment experience from the beginning of the workflow to the end, with numerous benefits along the way. Tools like the My Invisalign app help prospective patients learn more about Invisalign treatment and be directly connected to our practice for consultation. The Smile View in-practice tool and Invisalign virtual appointment help us connect with prospective patients to bring them into the office and follow up with any leads that are generated, all through the Invisalign doctor site. The iTero scanner with the Invisalign Outcomes Simulator help us understand our patients' motivations and expectations. With the iTero scanner, we can capture accurate digital imaging quickly and comfortably and educate our patients about their oral health. The Invisalign Photo Uploader lets us upload their digital data in a single click for easy record keeping. Another digital technology is the ClinCheck in-face visualization tool. We can aesthetically validate the Invisalign treatment setup, and patients can see their smile with their teeth aligned within the context of their own face before they actually start treatment. The cloud-based ClinCheck Pro 6.0 gives us flexibility on how, when, and where we work. It has powerful 3D controls and a new intuitive user interface to help us create effective treatment plans. With Invisalign Virtual Care on the My Invisalign mobile app, we're able to remotely monitor patients' treatment progress on a weekly basis. Align's digital solutions help us monitor the patient's progress against their treatment plan and make adjustments if patients are not tracking to plan. Our patients can see the future of their smile that's being proposed with Invisalign treatment. They can enjoy the convenience of getting high-quality dental photos and intraoral scans right in our office. With virtual tools, our patients can discuss their treatment options remotely, view their treatment plans in 3D, and stay in touch with us throughout their treatment. By bringing Align's suite of digital solutions into our practice, we've created an amazing digital workflow that's improved our efficiency, increased our productivity, and created a seamless treatment experience for our patients. So even during the COVID-19 pandemic, we've been able to maintain continuity of care.
Okay, I'm not sure if any of you have tried using our digital tools before, and if you have any question about how to use it, how to activate it on your IDS, please contact your local PDM, or even ask them to contact me directly. Yeah. Okay, next I want to talk about, we want to move into the ideas that you have of how you can use this platform more effectively, and what we offer for your use to help you grow your Invisalign practice. First is how to access the Invisalign doctor site. It's very easy. Now it's on web. You can just go to your web browser and put in this link. The link is vip.invisalign.com. And after you put in this link, you will be directed into this login page. For this one, you will need the ID, your Invisalign username to enter this web page. First, you need a username and a password. However, don't worry if you couldn't remember your username or password. You can just click on here, this link, and it will direct you to the password forget web page, which allow you to request for a new one. However, if you have created your staff login for your staff in your practice, they can click here as a staff member. It will direct you to it. It will direct them to another page of staff login. In case you, like I mentioned, in case you forget your password or username, you can just click forgot your username or password, and then you have option to retrieve your username or your password. If you forget your username, what you need to do is your primary account email. And if you forget your password, you will need your username. However, if you couldn't remember your account email, please contact your local PDM and we can work out on our system to help you solve this problem. After you enter into the IDS, you will have the page look something like this. Up top, you have the main menu of the platform. You have the patients menu, prospects menu, account menu, web store, education, support, and virtual care. Some of you might not be able to see virtual care right now because you need to activate the virtual care software before you use it. But if you are interested in using virtual care in your practice to remotely monitor your patients, please contact your local PDMs. And then you have two banners here. The first one is case number that you have treated so far. And the other one is the banner that we are promoting. It could be a promotion, it could be an education. It depends on when we are trying to communicate with you at that moment. And after that, you have a list of your patient. You have the patient that currently in the treatment or the patient that require your actions to complete the treatment, and also the archived patients that you have already finished. The action required, when you visit into your IDS, I recommend you to go to the action required tab first thing before you do anything else, because this is something that will require your actions to proceed with your patient's treatment. Otherwise, your patient will stuck here and cannot proceed further in the Invisalign journey. However, if you don't like the look of this patient list, you can change the look into a tile wheel. We called by clicking at this button. If you click on this one, this page will show as a list view like this. But if you click on this one, it will show as a tile view like this. It really depends on what you need and what you prefer. I've got a question about elastic. Dr. A. Kinming, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, asked that how can we apply forces of elastic rubber bands if needed, depends on stages, and can we directly apply heavy force? I'm not sure if I understand your question correctly, but at the moment we cannot simulate the force that would apply by the rubber band on clean check, but this one really depends on your experience of how much force you should apply for your patient, and which kind of rubber band that would need for your patient and to achieve such expected outcomes. So and can we directly apply heavy force? You mean for the posterior tooth, posterior teeth, or the occlusion, or still about the rubber band? Oh, class 2. So yeah, it's pretty much the same. If you want to apply heavy force on elastic, you can do so, but it really depends on how much what is your patient's biological response. So it really depends on your experience of using this such of inter-arch correction with either rubber bands or mandibular advancement features. Yes, you can apply the rubber bands in any stages that you prefer. It really depends on your plan. For example, if you do sequential distalization on any of the arches, You can start using your rubber band when you start moving your anterior segment. You don't need to start using the rubber band at the very early stage of the treatment. However, if you want to produce guided growth modification, let's say, you should apply it as early as possible. Okay, thank you so much for the question. And let's come back to the ideas. Okay, and then after you check on your action required tab, you have an option to add new patient. Then it will bring you to a new page of patient creation. And if you click on the list on patient, it will bring you to case detail that will tell you who the patients are, who the patient is, and what a date of birth, patient ID, and also that their active package, including the expiration date. In the case menu, in the case detail page, you can see that, like I mentioned before, it shows the PID of the patient. If you have any problem with your patient, please indicate your PID and send it to your PDMs or your clinical support. We need to use this ID to identify which one that has issues, and we can solve it and help you accordingly. And right here is the package, is the type of package and the expiration date. Because this is a test case, so we don't have the exact treatment expiration date for this case. However, if it is your patient, this date will show, and you can see what would be the plan for your patient if they encounter any relapse or any off tracking. And then we have the case status box at the bottom. It will show you what is the stage of the case and also what you have done so far with this case. We have a wide range of case status offered in Invisalign system on the IDS. That should, if you're not clear with what they mean, please also feel free to contact your local PDMs and they will help you with this. And you also have the supplemental order options on the right hand of the IDS. On this, you have options to order additional aligners, replacement aligners, attachment template, warranty, fibula retainer, and start new treatment. I want to talk a little bit more about replacement and warranty. Most of you might already know about additional aligners, but if you want to know to hear a little bit more about additional aligners, please feel free to put it in the chat box and we can talk a bit more about your problem that you may have. For replacement, replacement is something that we offer for you if your patient lost their aligners. But for this one, there will be a fee applied to this order. We encourage you to use this option in case your patient doesn't take a good care of their aligners and keep losing them all the time. However, if you feel that it's not your patient's fault, you can use other options for instead for your patient. Next is the warranty. Warranty is something that we manufacture wrong. It could be a missing aligner from the manufacturer side, aligner broken or tear, unfitted aligner, or there might be some features missing from the aligners. For the warranty, there will be no fee applied for this order. We offer two types of warranty order. The first one is warranty fit, and the other one is warranty defect. So include the replacement is something that is the mistake caused by the patient, and the warranty is the mistakes caused by the manufacturer. So it depends on what is your situation with the missing piece, and you can order your supplemental accordingly. Let's talk a bit more about warranty. You know that we have two types of warranty that you can request from outside. The first one is warranty fit, and the other one is warranty defect. The warranty fit is when aligners have fitting issue. It might not see properly on your patient's mouth, or it might miss something, or there is a distortion or something that would interrupt the use of the aligners. For this kind of situation, we recommend you to send a new impression to us to remanufacture well-fitted aligners for your patient. For this one, the photo of unfitting aligner within patient's mouth is also required. After you complete this order, the new clean check will be posted for your review and approve again. However, for warranty defect, when aligners have defect or quality issue from the manufacturer, from our manufacturing. In this case, would be the missing features, like I mentioned before, or it could be a discoloration, or etc., etc. For this kind of order, you will need a photo of defected aligner to be posted in your IDS. And once warranty order has been submitted, the new set of aligner will be manufactured immediately without new clean check. So please be aware of what order you need. The warranty fit is something that occurs in your patient mouth, and it needs a review of a new clean check. On the other hand, the warranty defect is something that occurs from the manufacturing. And you can see this default by just open up the package and see that something is missing or not wrong or not right. And you will not be able to see a new clean check on your IDS. Do you have any question about the supplemental orders that you might have in the past? Please feel free to put in the chat box. Next is the account menu. In the account menu, you have an option to view your case summary, your profile, your advantage tier, and your staff. For the summary page, you can filter the category based on your patient's characters, such as the age, the package, the shipping location, and also the date range. It will filter all your patients into a specific criteria. Next is your profile. And in this section, you have options to change your username. You can change it to something else rather than the same with a combination of numbers, which is our default username for you. You can change it to something else, something like your emails or your name, to make your sign-in process easier. And then you can change your password as well. You can change your primary account email in case you change it. You can add treating doctors to your practice, and you can change the notification alerts into your emails, how often you want to receive it. And you can also share your ClinCheck treatment plan to third parties. Right here, you can see that you can add new shipping address as well in case you open up a new branch or new clinic, or maybe you start working in a new place. However, you cannot create a billing address yourself. You need to contact our PDMs to add a new billing address for you. Next is the advantage page. In this page, you can see how much how much points you have after you treat a patient in one cycle, which is a year. Yeah, and you can see that what tier you are in, and what is the next case discount if you have one, and what is the points that is required to go to next tier. And you can see from this picture that we have 7 different tiers offered for you, and in each tier you will receive different benefit based on your points that you have done in this year, and your benefit will be carried forward to the next. And the last menu is the staff management. In this page, you can create a new sub-account in your ideas by adding a staff in your practice. By doing so, you can set their roles, what they could do in your practice. For example, you may set a staff A as a manager, and she can add patients, do a prescription, and can access the education portal. But for somebody like your assistant, she may not be able to manage your patient. She cannot prescribe Invisalign for your patient. All she can do is just use the smile wheel and make purchases on our web store. So please, and I would recommend you to beware of this option because if you allow one of your staff to do this option, they will be able to approve your case as well. So if you don't review it and your staff accidentally click on approve button, you will be charged for a lab fee immediately. And there's nothing else that we can do, that we can change it for you. And next is the support tab. In this tab, you will be able to find a form, software that is required to do Invisalign treatments, your PDM's contact, your clinical support contact, and CS supports. We can divide this page into different sections. The up top is the form and all the information that you might need to grow your business within this line. And at the bottom is the resources that you need for your practice. On the right, you have clinical support tab and PDM support tab. If you click on the schedule an appointment, it will direct you to the schedule page that allow you to make appointment with me as your clinical support, and we can talk more about the issue that you might have in your case and what I can assist you to grow your business. And next is your territorial representative. For this one, you can see how you can contact your local PDM, and they will be able to assist you with anything that you might encounter in your daily practice. This could be some issues with your orders, with your billings, invoices, etc., etc. And if you have in itero in your ideas, you will have an option of my available scans. This menu will direct you to all your scan that you have done so far. You can see what is your available scans that you can use for your patient, and and you can click here to see the available scan and you have used for your patient. And if you click on the clinical support option to schedule an appointment, it will direct you to this one. And on this one, you will be able to see my available time slot for you to make an appointment, to have a discussion about your case. And you can just choose from the date, and it will show the time that is available. And then you input the subject of your issues. This could be case discussion, clinical review, stuff like that. And then put in your PID, so I can review your case before we have a session. So it will save you more time. And then you can put in your telephone number, so that if I need to contact you before the session, I can do so. We can contact you via line or email as well. In case we will send you the link to access the meeting. For us as a clinical team, we typically use Zoom to host the discussion with you. So please feel free to reach your local PDM if you don't know how to schedule an appointment, or if you need our contact, just do so through your PDM. And next is the education tab. In this tab, you can enter Align education, your online evaluation tools, and also global gallery through this tab. And what is Align education? And Align education is a platform that all Align resources to provide doctors a flexible and customized learning experience at any time and anywhere. So you can learn about being an Invisalign providers and how to grow your Invisalign journey at your own pace through this portal. We also provide an information about digital treatment planning, and you can visit on the education tab and see what would be the step-by-step progression that you can do for your patient, and what are the tools that can help you accelerate the process and convince your patient to get on board with your treatment. We also provide the clinical conditions for you to review. You can find out more about what you can do for your patient if they have a specific conditions that we have on this page. You can find the content when you need to, anytime you need. This could be prior to the start of the treatment, when you're initiating the treatment, in case of the progress and monitoring, and also best practices that somebody else might do in the past, and we collect them all into this page. Next is the video library. The video library option is just under the course and events on the left menu. Once you click in the video library, it will bring you to all the webinar that we have done available for your views and your study. So you can learn about Invisalign system at your own pace in the topic that you need. You can see famous Invisalign speakers here in this page, like Dr. Barry Glazer or Dr. Sandra Tai, who have conducted hundreds of Invisalign education sessions. And then you can visit Invisalign Global Gallery from this tab as well. For this tab, we categorize all different treatment, Invisalign treatment that we have done so far, and these cases are available for your study. We have collected more than 1,000 cases on this platform. So if you want to learn more about what you can do for your patient, if let's say if your patient has class 3 occlusion, what somebody else in the world has done for this kind of cases. You can see that if you visit into the Invisalign Global Gallery, we categorize them into a different category. You can search them by age of patient, treatment options, clinical conditions, treatment modalities, smartphone feature, aligner wear time, so on and so forth. So you can choose the example case treatment that is similar to your patient's condition, and then create and then replicate or learn from what have been done in the past and apply to your patient cases. In Global Gallery, we display treatment goals, case records, clean check plan, and also the summary of what was achieved at the end of treatment. And you can also find some additional comments of what they think they should have done better in some cases as well. So this is a gem for you to learn more about Invisalign treatment, and also improve your clinical confidence in treating patients with Invisalign system. Next, next is the clinical education support. Right here, like I concluded before, it collects the option to visit clinical conditions based on your patient condition. Sorry. And also the global gallery that you can access to study what have been done in the past. Next is the courses and events. In this page, you can come and see what is the clinical education that we are currently offering for your study. You can choose to attend these courses based on your interests. All you need to do is just click on your education tab right here, and then click on the courses and events, and then go to upcoming courses. And then you can see the full list of the Invisalign education that are offered for specifically for you. If you are interested in any of the event, all you need to do is just click register, and then it will bring you to a new page that shows what is the information of this event, what would be the objective of the learning, what would be the agenda and the speaker profile, the venue of the event, and also registration fees in case it applies. All you need to do is just, after you click register, you need to click on the acceptance of TNC and then click register again, and then you're good to go. And what you need to do on the date of the event, in case you want, let's say if on the day of the event that you want to visit your specific event that you registered, you just need to come to the registered attended courses right here at the below the upcoming courses, and then you need to copy this URL right here, located in the location, and then copy this URL, paste it in the URL box in your web browser, and then click open Zoom meetings or lunch meetings. And after that, you will be brought directly to the education session, and then wait until further notice. Okay. I'm not sure if you have any questions so far about what we have talked about. If not, if not, let's take a short break, about 10 minutes to grab coffee or do your bio break, and then we can come back in 10 minutes.